Welcome back, everybody. Now, listen to this, Ryan. She's an actor and a director whose new film is a perfectly timed documentary called Dads. Please welcome Bryce Dallas Howard. Hi, Bryce.
Hi.
And congratulations. I believe that you and my son, Michael Consuelos, are both NYU class of 2020 grads. Is that right?
Yes. How many years did it take him to graduate?
It took him 4. It took him 4 years. How many years did it take you?
It took me 21 years.
Well, I mean, listen, you had a full-time job through the whole thing. He really only had a part-time job. So don't sell yourself short.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. No, but congratulations to him. And both must be so proud. And, you know, it's a historic class in a lot of ways. Yeah.
So, I'm just wondering, how do you feel about the way it all has come about with graduation this year?
Well, ironically, I teach at NYU. And I've taught there for the last couple of years. And, you know, just knowing that with the pandemic and everything that had to happen in terms of classes and classes becoming remote and all of that, you know, it's a huge disruption for students. And I felt really just awful that they had to go through this. And it's certainly not what they signed up for or expected. And that being said, the camaraderie and the connectiveness that I felt with just my students and then the class at large, you know, just like globally, I don't think any of us will ever forget that. You know, the class of 2020 will stand out. So hopefully we have that.
Do you feel different having your degree? Because I often think about going to college and getting my degree. And then I think, well, what's it really going to, you know, change in my life, except maybe it will make me feel differently. Do you feel different having your degree?
You know what, I do, because I also want, I want to get my master's. And so that's something like you need your bachelor's in order to get your master's. And that's something that I've been hoping to pursue for a long time. I see that I'm breaking up. I'm so sorry. I wish I could be there with you in person or be in control of
We have felt this way for months. Don't worry.
We are. It's okay. We're used to it. You have no idea. We'll take any pixelated version of you that we can get.
Oh, thank you.
What about the class that you teach? Give us a little detail on what you're doing there with the students.
So it's a lab program in Fish and the drama program specifically for actors who are interested in filmmaking. So it's really, you know, it's multi-hyphenate. And in the class, we embark upon each making our own project from start to finish and collaborating with others, you know, and it's been awesome. And especially to see actors realize that they are directors, they're writers, you know, they're fine artists, they're not just performers, which is great.
I cannot believe that my son did not take your class. And he certainly didn't mention it to me, but he would have mentioned it to me because he loves Jurassic Park so much that, you know, I can't imagine that he would not mention that at some point over the course of his education.
We're piloting the class, so it was relatively small for the first semester, and then we just kind of gradually opened it up, and now I think there it's a little bit more sort of like folks know about it within the school, but at the beginning it was, you know, it was a relatively small class, so I'm glad that it's grown.
Let's get a quick break here. We'll come back and we got to talk about dads. You'll hear that.
Yeah.
We are back with Bryce Dallas Howard. So before we get to dads, you have had a very interesting quarantine, we understand.
Oh, well, it was, I was filming Jurassic in the UK and came back, and just because, you know, I was traveling and whatnot, needed to stay separate from my family for a couple of weeks, my husband and my 2 kids. And so this is a room here above our garage that I stayed in, and I could look down and see into our kitchen, and just seeing my husband every single day, for those first couple of weeks, homeschooling them, cooking, cleaning, just being an incredible caregiver. And it's not that unusual for him. So I felt really, really, really lucky.
How poignant,
you made a good
how
choice.
poignant this film is, right? Exactly. I mean, I love that you made a documentary about dads. I have an incredible dad. I have an incredible father-in-law, and I married the world's best dad. And so, I just think it's such a great time, especially now. And it's like a very funny, very touching documentary about fathers.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, it's coming out Father's Day weekend, and it is a celebration of modern fathers around the globe. And in large part, that is, just like you said, because I have a father who I love and admire, and who has always been incredibly engaged and present. And same with my husband, same with my grandfather. And yet that's not necessarily what we see depicted always, and so, yeah, it's time to celebrate dads for sure.
Was your dad anxious and excited to be featured in the documentary, or was he a bit shy and reluctant?
He was super reluctant. He was not too keen on being in front of the camera for this one. But he's super sweet and very easy to convince as well. So that's a good thing. But
how is he to direct?
Well, thankfully, it's a documentary, so I didn't need to direct him at all. He just gets to answer the questions in whatever way that he does, and that's what's in the movie. But it was wonderful because my brother actually, during filming, I kept saying I need an expecting father to profile, and my brother learned that he and his wife were pregnant with their first child during production. And so once my brother was going to be in the movie, it made sense for my dad to be interviewed. And he was compliant.
We just showed a picture of your brother, and from a split second, I thought it was your dad.
Right. They look so much alike. It's wild.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Check out Dads. It premieres tomorrow on Apple TV+. Great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on.
You too. Thank you so much. And sorry about the Wi-Fi.
No
worries.
it's okay.